Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope everyone is keeping fine and safe. So we are all back, and as you know, we were discussing about RBI Grade B Officers Examination Phase 2, and the first part has already been done, that is from question 1 to 10. So in this video, we'll be coming up with the next set of questions, that is from question number 11. So as you can see in my screen, I'm presenting you the screen where there are a few set of questions and we'll be discussing. The first question that we are going to do, question number 11, says, 4 kinds of management systems as leadership styles was given by number 1, Blake and Morton, number 2, Rensis Likert, number 3, McGregor, number 4, Hertzberg, and number 5 is none of these. So the correct answer you need to have insight to this question is Francis Likert. Accordingly, if you know, in management, we also have something called Likert scale. Okay, so from that name, you can even do some relevance theory, reference theory to this, which is called Likert scale. Anyways, the answer to this is Francis Likert. Now, Rensis Likert identified 4 main styles of leadership, in particular around decision making and the degree to which people were involved in the decision making. Now, the 4 systems of management system or the 4 leadership styles identified by him were firstly authoritative, exploitative, benevolent authoritative, and consultative and participative. So these were the styles of management or the leadership styles he had been discovering. Accordingly, the correct answer to our question number 11 is number 2, that is Francis Likert. Next, moving on to question number 12. The process of searching for the prospective employees and encouraging them to apply for the jobs in an organization is known as selection, placement, recruitment, training, or none of these. See, let's go to the insight of the question. Process of searching for prospective employees and encouraging them to apply for the jobs. What is this process? That is, they are not applying it on their own. So the organization or the company is taking initiative so as they can find the right employees from where they are motivating the people or the employees to submit the CV and the application. So this is called the recruitment process or the recruitment process which we say. So what is this basically recruitment process? This is recruitment process is known as the process of attracting prospective employees on a timely basis in sufficient numbers and also with appropriate qualifications as will be required for the particular job, and also stimulating and encouraging them to apply for jobs within an organization. Okay, so this is basically called the recruitment process, which is the answer to our question number 12, that is recruitment. Next, moving on to question number 13. POSDCORB or PostCorp was coined using initial letters of management function by Hans O'Donnell, Luther Gulick, Peter F. Drucker, Henry Mintzberg, or none of these. So, question number 13, if you have some knowledge about management, then you might know that Luther Gulick or Mr. Luther coined the word PostCorp or POSDCORP using the initial letters of management of which is the basic initial letters of management function. So I'll come to that what PostCorp actually means. P stands for planning. O stands for organizing. Next is S. S stands for staffing. D stands for directing. C stands for coordinating. CO actually totally stands for coordinating. Then coming to R. R stands for reporting and B for budgeting. So these are the elements or the functions of management that we have. So reporting is a part of controlling function, while budgeting represents both planning and controlling. Directing is giving orders from the superior to the lower levels of management, and planning is the basic process that we all know. So the correct answer to question number 13 is Luther Gulick. Next, moving on to question number 14. The hierarchy theory of needs was given by A.H. Maslow, McGregor, Coons O'Donnell, only one and two, or none of these. So many of us might already have read this in a basic class 12, 11 or 12, which is called the Maslow theory. Okay, so his full name was Abraham Maslow, and he was a well-renowned person for proposing the hierarchy of needs theory in 1943. This theory of hierarchy that he has established was a classical depiction of human motivation. This theory was basically an assumption that there is a hierarchy of five needs with each and every individual. The urgency of these needs varies and based on from time to time. And the five needs that he has been established were first psychological needs, safety needs, social needs. Next was the esteem need, and lastly the self-actualization needs. So he had established basically a pyramid. Okay, we all must have read about this pyramid that is called the Maslow's theory. So accordingly, we have the correct answer to our question number 14, that is A.H. Maslow. Next, moving on to question number 15. Zero-based budgeting were first introduced in number one, Japan, number two, USA, number three, India, number four, China, and number five is none of these. Now, what is zero-based budgeting? Zero-based budgeting was first introduced in the early 1960s. Okay, I'm coming to the next answer. From the answer only, you will be able to understand. It was from this bureau-based budgeting came from the agricultural department. Okay? So it was a tool which facilitated identification and sharpening of objectives, examination of various alternatives for performing that identify tasks, cost benefit analysis, then you have prioritization of objectives, which objectives come first, which should be dealt first, which should be done later on, and then identification and elimination of redundant activities, also designing and ranking of decision packages. All these were all of it was done in the US Department of Agriculture. In other words, if I say the ZBB facilitated elimination of redundant expenditure, removing the duplication of expenditure, also, finding a better way of spending money just to achieve or attain the objectives and optimize the expenditure by making it a productive and efficient process. Okay? So, although in the 1960s it was successful, but due to erroneous assumptions that were taken in this, lack of time for preparation, it later became a successful tool. So, when President Carter introduced it for the whole US Federation government in the year, it was later on became a success. That was later on, quite later, it was in the year 1979. So basically, the answer to this is for which we were discussing such a lot of things, that is zero-based budgeting was introduced by USA. To be more specific, US Department of Agriculture. Next, coming to question number 16. The essential skills which every manager needs for doing better management is known as leadership skills, teaching skills, professional skills, managerial skills, and none of these. Now, when we are talking of management, basically, a manager will already have professional skills because he has attained the role of manager through professional skills and his years of service and experience in the organization. So, teaching skill will definitely not be a part of it. Next, leadership skills. Manager is not a leader. A leader is the one who directs, and a manager is the one who makes the employees work as a team. So in that case, leadership skill is not a mandate for him. Next, coming to teaching skills. Now he is not holding some, teaching institutes, or he's not a part of the teaching professional skills. Or yes, he does direct or he does teach when required, but this is not the basic job of a manager. Or this is not the basic function that a manager is supposed to do. For that, there are various, for teaching skills in our organization, there are various mentors, or there are various teachers who will be doing the particular task. The manager is not associated with it, and none of these. So basically, the last option we are left with is managerial skills. So definitely from the very word manager, we are sure that we are going to get this answer as managerial skills. But still going to the details of which, that is, a manager is always required to use a specific skills, right? That is management or managerial skills. Why? To be successful with regards to performance of the team, or to the performance of the essential managerial functions effectively done or not. Now, managerial skills are often acquired through experience. Managers will use the skills to coordinate strategies to administer the work responsibilities that are given to various groups of employees, whether they are having any problem associated to it or not. The managerial skills between two supervisors may differ. Although the technical knowledge and everything will be similar and the job functions may also be similar, but the way of handling them, or the way they make the employees work out, that will definitely be different from varying from manager to manager. So accordingly, the answer to question number 16 is managerial skills. That is option number 4. Next, moving on to question number 17. Principle of esprit de corps was given by, or was coined by, R.C. Davis, V.A. Grygonas, Coons O'Donnell, Henry Fayol, or none of these. So, esprit de corps is, from the word only you can understand, it's a French phrase which means or translates into the group spirit, which means that it's a group spirit. So this was coined by Henry Fayol. Okay, esprit de corps was one of the terms that he coined, Henry Fayol, in the 14 administrative principles that he had already had. And the part 14 administrative principles I already discussed in the previous video, so you can refer to that also. So the principle states that an organization must make every effort to maintain group cohesion in the organization. Also, it notes that dividing your competition is a clever tactic or a better way, but dividing your own team is a serious error. Never divide a team. Okay. So dividing the work is better, but team effort is very important, which is the key concept of esprit de corps. So we have the correct answer as Henry Fayol. So the correct answer to question number 17 is option 4, which is Henry Fayol. Next, moving on to question number 18. A general enduring statement of the intent of business, which reflects the belief and philosophy of management, is known as mission, vision, objective, only 1 and 2, only 2 and 3, or none of these. So basically, a mission is an enduring statement of purpose that distinguishes one organization from the similar type of other organizations or other similar type of enterprises. This mission statement is a declaration of an organization's reason for being. Why is it existing? Sometimes it is also called a creed statement, or a statement of purpose, a statement of belief, a statement of a business principle, statement of defining their business. A mission statement reveals that what an organization wants to be and whom it wants to serve. What is the basic objective of it? Why was it created? That is called the mission. So the correct answer to this option, question number 18, is already, I told you, number 1, which is mission. Next, moving on to question number 19. Policies are the guide to thinking. Number 1, organizing. Number 2, decision making. Number 3, forecasting. Number 4, planning. Number 5, none of these. Now, policies are standing plans that provide guidelines for decision making, right? Not for organizing or for forecasting, neither for planning, because plans will be various, it will vary from one decision to the other. It will vary from time to time on the need and on the objective or on the project. So policies are the standing plans that will provide you guidelines and that will be required for the decision making. They are basically the guidelines to think and establish the boundaries or the limits within the decision which will inculcate your decision, and the decision will be made further on. Within these boundaries, judgment must be exercised. The degree of discretion permitted will vary definitely from policy to policy. Now, some policies are quite broad and they will allow much latitude, whereas others or other decisions will have narrow constructed and leave little space or room for judgment. So, to illustrate a policy of selecting the best qualified candidate for a managerial position, it permits more discretion than a policy of promoting the best qualified candidate from within the organization. Now, it's a narrower policy because it limits the choices to current employees, yes, but a policy of promoting from within the organization based on standardized test scores and seniority would, of course, I'm sure it would be an even more restrictive policy. So I have given you quite insights to this, but basically coming to the very concept of this, policies are guides to thinking, not organization. It's definitely decision making, because we have in normal circumstances also, if you refer, we have various policies as to how we are going to make out the final decision. So decision making is guided through policy. So question number 19's answer is option number 2, which is decision making. Next, coming to question number 20. It involves looking ahead and projecting the future course of events, organizing, forecasting, controlling, coordination, or none of these. Now, it's a very simple concept. Organization does not look into the future course of events. Controlling also does not look into the future course of events, because this depends on planning. To how the team will be functioning, so will the controlling depend. Coordination is a team management, so that will change from time to time and we cannot apprehend that in the future coursework. So forecasting is the term that is left, and definitely future, when we're talking about the future course of events, it's always forecasting. Even with the weather reports, it's such a very basic example. With the weather reports also, we associate the term forecasting because this weather is going to happen in the near future. So future coursework of events is related to forecasting. Okay, what is the meaning of forecasting? It actually means predicting something that will happen in the near future, or we can say even estimating the probability that it will happen or it will not happen. So that is called forecasting. So the correct option to question number 20 is number 2, which is forecasting. So then I am done with question number 11 to 20 discussion. I hope you have understood all well enough, because the insight and the details of the each and every answer has already been given. So I hope you have liked the video and you have understood well enough. In the next video, we'll be discussing the rest of the questions. So thank you for patiently hearing me out. Thank you so much.